Donald Penn is a veteran left tackle for the Oakland Raiders. Donald Penn is 35 years old. Now, in the NFL draft, the Raiders drafted another left tackle. The Raiders drafted left tackle Kolton Miller out of UCLA as their first-round draft pick. Now, Donald Penn was mad. Donald Penn was furious when he found out that the Raiders had drafted another left tackle. He called up John Gruden. He was angry. And John Gruden did not pick up the phone. So I'm going to pause the story now. At this point of the story, I was like, when I heard this, initially I was like, oh my goodness, come on, dude. Donald Penn, you're 35 years old. Grow up. If you don't want to lose your job, don't. Earn it. Work your butt off. Beat out the rookie. You're going to get the benefit of the doubt. You're a veteran. But then there's more to the story. So I initially was frustrated. I was like, dude, Donald Penn, you're 35 years old. Grow up. But then there's more. On Monday, Donald Penn and John Gruden saw each other and talked. They smoothed things over. And Donald Penn even said he would help develop Kolton Miller. That's awesome. That's professional. That's great. Donald Penn, the 35-year-old left tackle, is actually going to work with the Raiders, and he's going to work with Kolton Miller, help him get used to the NFL. And that's awesome. That's what veterans should do. You're being paid at this point to not just play, maybe not, whatever. But if you can, you're giving yourself more value. Even if Donald Penn is not the starter this year, I think he will be initially. But even if he'll probably move to right tackle, whatever. But even if someday down the road, Donald Penn isn't a starter for the Raiders, he can still bring value if he's helping the young guys. And so I think ultimately, Donald Penn cooled off. John Gruden didn't answer the phone. Smart for John Gruden. Glad John Gruden didn't do that. Donald Penn was allowed time to cool off, really think about it. And now he's doing the professional thing. People are criticizing Donald Penn. They're saying, well, what a hothead. He should not have freaked out. Look, I don't criticize the man at all. Donald Penn felt threatened. He thought he was going to lose his job. And Donald Penn doesn't want to be fired. Do you want to be fired? Do you want your company to hire a guy younger than you and replace you? No, you don't. And so I understand why Donald Penn felt frustration and felt anger at first. And I think it's cool that he cooled off. And in the end, he was mature. And by being mature and by helping the young guys, Donald Penn brings value to the Raiders. He might stay longer in the NFL, even if he doesn't play, because he's willing to help the younger guys. He has more value than just his value on the field. That's awesome. So I think the lesson here is that sometimes it's better to take a break. Take a minute, mull it over, take a deep breath, rather than just have a knee-jerk angry reaction. And that's what Donald Penn ultimately did. He relaxed, he took a minute, and he will be professional about the situation, which is fantastic. And he's not just being professional, he's being gracious. And he said he's willing to help the young left tackle, Kolton Miller. That is awesome. That's what I like to hear in the NFL. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube, as well as my best, most interesting clips. If you like Strong Opinion Sports as much as I do, help me grow this podcast by telling your friends about this show. Share it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow this podcast by telling your friends. Thank you so much, and have a great day.